The beginning of times. I actually made an old review of this album on my old channel, but it was a computer-made review, so I basically just typed up things on the computer. I wanted to remake this review because, well, I wanted it to be more consistent with the other album reviews that I've made, and I also, it's not as fun just reading things off a screen. I think you guys much rather just have someone actually speaking to you just in front of the camera as opposed to just watching, just words on a screen. It'll also help for some of my blind readers as well, or just, yeah, my blind viewers that happen to stumble upon this video. So, yeah, that's also a perk. If you want to check out the old review that I made, here's the link right here if you guys are curious in seeing that. I'll leave it up for you right there, but now anyway. Believe it or not, I believe this to be the weakest Tommy Hudson era album so far. When I first listened to this after coming off of Skyforger, I thought something just felt missing about it. Of course, it's the same sort of style, the same sort of sound as the previous three albums, but something about it just felt like something was missing. I don't know, everything just seemed to mesh together in a sort of weird way, sort of in a blandish style. I'm not saying this album's bad or anything like that. I don't know, this album just didn't really seem to jut out at me all that much. I think it just took a bit more listens to really get into it, but at the same time, I haven't really been able to get into it as much as Silent Waters or Universum, Skyforger, anything like that. Yeah, I still really, really like this album, but just not on the same level as much of the previous albums. It's no Far From the Sun or anything like that. This is infinitely stronger, but at the same time, it's just something feels missing or watered down even. I don't know, it's so strange. All the elements seem to be there, but it just seemed to be a bit more faded. It seemed to be a bit more pale in comparison to the previous albums. But let's go through the track listing really quick to see what I think. Battle for Light starts on a great note. It's a very folky, epic song. Very solid, very enjoyable. I really like this song. It's one of my favorites on the album. Mermaid it's a good song. I like it. The Mermaid introduction with the female vocals in the background. It's a nice touch. It definitely gives you that sort of sea chanty sort of theme with it. But yeah, it's good. I like it. I think people sort of a lot of people have went crazy over that song, but I think it's good. I don't think it's a spectacular song. I don't think it's as amazing as almost every other person claims it to be. But yeah, that's just my opinion. My Enemy is a step up from it. I could say it's the the heaviest song on the album, but I don't know. All these songs seem to coalesce together. There's not much about these songs that really stand out from all the other ones, except for maybe Battle for Light, a couple of big standouts. But I don't know. Something about a lot of these songs just sound a bit more samey to me. That's one of my major complaints about this album as a whole. But My Enemy, very good. I really like it. You I Need is the next song of the album, and it's the leading single. I like the music video. That was definitely interesting. It's not as polished and as elegant and stylish as the three previous music videos for House of Sleep, Silent Waters, and Silver Bride. Those are definitely a lot more elegant looking. But the You I Need video definitely had a much more grittier look to it, and the song itself is definitely catchy enough. I like it a lot. Song of the Sage definitely has it has some really cool flutes and more folky passages here and there. It's probably yeah, it's one of my favorites on the album. 3 Words is I've liked it more and more. At first, I didn't think much of it, but now I've really liked it a lot. Three Words is a very good one. Reformation, I liked it a lot when I first listened to it. I don't like it quite as much now, but that piano, like the piano passages throughout are really good. Um, but if I get back into the song, I'll still listen away and still really enjoy it. Soothsayer, um, pretty good. I like it enough. Um, yeah, it doesn't like jut out at me all that much, but I mean, for what it is, it's pretty good. On a Stranded Shore, yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the whole samey feel of this album. It sounds a lot like a recycled version of You I Need. I mean, I still like it. I still like both songs, but something about them, they just seem a bit more samey. Like, it's the same sort of sort of riff pattern, the same sort of structure to it. It sort of feels like they were copying and pasting certain ideas into different songs. And yeah, Escape is the next song of the album. It reminds me a lot of Brother Moon, just like musically speaking and sort of rhythmically speaking, kind of. It's not quite as folky or wait, definitely not as good as Brother Moon. Brother Moon is like an instant classic. Escape just seems a bit more standard, like, oh yeah, it's just there. Um, One of my complaints about this album that it feels a little bit longer than it needs to be. I mean, I've noticed the track listing on this album is longer than usual. I don't mind longer track listings and stuff, but sometimes it just feels like there's certain songs there just to make the album longer, like filler. I sort of could qualify this as filler. I mean, I like it, but I pretty much consider it to be filler. Um, yeah, and the it's not just this one song. The entire album has this sort of feel to it, where it just seems all watered down. There are no weak tracks on here, but like the sonoscape of the album and just the overall feeling of it just feels a bit more watered down overall. And yes, I know there's a bit more of like an aquatic theme right there, but um, I mean watered down as in watered down, not like, oh, it's watered down because it has to do with water. No, it's completely different. It just means it doesn't live up, and it just sounds a bit more not as good. But anyway, they really bring themselves back up again with Crack in a Stone. Damn, this is definitely one of the best songs on the album. It reminds me a lot of Weaving the Incantation. It has some very heavy verses, and it has a very like has an insane ending. Same with Weaving the Incantation. They both have like these crazy endings where they have these like higher pitched growls in the background, along with Tommy's lower growls complementing them, and they just, yeah, damn, awesome song. Beginning of Time is the top track of the album. It has a really cool sitar intro. And this is another one of the best songs in the album. It definitely serves much more of like a mystical theme that I really have loved from much of Amorphis' discography. Definitely a great closer. It's just a really good song. And there's a bonus track on here called Heart Song, which it should have been on the album to replace a song like Soothsayer or Escape even. I think this definitely would have been a much better fit for the album. Like, even as like the last track of the album. I mean, it technically is since it's a bonus track, but it would have been so much cooler if they actually included it in the original track listing, not just, oh yeah, bonus track, whatever. I think this should have been like on the official set list, like, hey, this is really part of the album. You're here to listen to it. Yeah, this is an awesome, awesome song. It's definitely provides more of what I was expecting from this album, but didn't feel I was provided enough of it. I think this song definitely provides that more epic feeling, which I felt was sort of left out a little bit on this album because overall, yeah, I love the song, but the album overall, while there are no bad songs on here, while every song on here is from good to great, in comparison to the past albums, I don't think it really quite matches up. I would probably have to give this about an 8 out of 10. I still think it's a very solid, very enjoyable album, but I don't think it matches up to many of the previous albums. Way better than Far From the Sun, for sure, but not quite as good as an album like Silent Waters or Skyforger. So that's it for all the older Amorphis albums. Stay tuned for the brand new one, Circle.